So Edinson Cavani has signed a new contract with Manchester United, keeping him at the club until the summer of 2022. I'm really pleased. I mean, I'm not a Manchester United fan. I'm just really pleased to see him staying, to be honest.
Yeah.
34 years old, scored 8 goals in his last 7 games, 15 in all competitions this season. After signing the deal, the Uruguayan said this: "I have developed a great affection for the club and everything that it represents. I feel a deep bond with my teammates and the staff who work behind the scenes." Incredible, really, that fans haven't even really been able to see him. So next season they'll be able to see him back in the stadium, supporting him. He's just brilliant. He's just classy in everything that he does, isn't he?
Class.
He's brilliant. I mean, his movement is second to none, by the way. And listen, his leg, he might not be as quick as he maybe he once was, because at one stage he was really, really quick. But the way he kind of moves in and around the box, his speed of thought is incredible. It's even like for the goal when he came on against Aston Villa, where Rashford leaves into an area. It's the movement to get in behind the fullback and back in between the two centre halves. I mean, it looks, obviously, to kind of somebody who doesn't play in that position, it's just a normal header. But so much thought would have gone into that. His timing of the run, where he thinks the ball's going to land, so much. But the way he just glanced it in the corner, I mean, he's class.
It reminded me, I don't know whether you agree, of the goal he scored. Did he come on and score the winner at Southampton not so long ago? I know they were getting beaten. He came on and scored a similar goal where all his work's done prior to the actual finish. He just kind of ghosts in, you know, and he's phenomenal at it in terms of his movement. He'll attempt to get out the eye line of the defender and then bang, gets in front of him, or takes a step back to get his half yard. I think you're right, mate. I think clearly and understandably he maybe just doesn't have the pace that he once had, but his level of finishing, particularly the last 8 games, as you say, quality, even the finish against Roma, where he just... It's the pace, and he just blasts at the pace. He's got all sorts of finishes. He's a top player, mate.
I was watching him at the game at the weekend, so I was at Villa Park, and I said this yesterday, I just find him, I'm really fascinated by him. So he was just warming up, he literally just warming up in the touchline, and I was just watching him rather than watching the game. Little things like, all he was doing was like stretching out his hip flexor and doing his movements before the game, and I don't know, I find him thoroughly fascinating. And then he came off the bench and he scored that goal, and it's just amazing. And I was sitting there, actually, I was asking Ollie after the game, and Luke Shaw as well, about him and the importance of keeping him. And I did notice Ollie was really careful with the way that he was using certain words, obviously trying not to give anything away. He's been really outspoken before about desperately wanting to keep him, and they're managing to do it now. So what does that do for you, Darren, for their title charge next season?
They still need to add 1 or 2 additions. I still think, I know they finished second this season, United, but I think they're second. Manchester City, I think, again, will be the team to beat. Chelsea look like they're going from strength to strength, and I expect them to invest again into the squad, as they always do, so they're getting better. But I still think, with Edinson Cavani being 34, and listen, he's been brilliant, I still think you need another one. I still think you need another striker. Now, I'm not saying necessarily right now you need to go and get someone like a Kane, like one of the very, very best in the world. Obviously, of course, if you can get him, you go and get him. But at least Cavani maybe gives you a little bit of time, because obviously the development of Greenwood is important. But Cavani can be that kind of bridge between the next couple, even maybe 1 year, 2 years. Then you go and find, obviously, your mainstay centre forward, or by then Greenwood's developed into that top number 9. So he does give you a little bit of time, Cavani, now.
What do you think, Ali?
I think that's a fair point. I would be surprised now if Harry Kane went to Manchester United. For those reasons. I mean, clearly Kane's absolutely top class, but I just think that the signing of the re-signing of Cavani, it does give somebody like, you know, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford an opportunity to continue learning from one of the masters, and I think Manchester United will strengthen in the summer, but I'm not sure now it will be in the centre forward position, Bentley. I think with the re-signing of Cavani, I think the priorities might be elsewhere, whether it's a Sancho or another defender or a holding player, Declan Rice type. I think with the re-signing of Cavani, I think their need, I don't disagree with you in the respect that they might need, you know, they could probably do with one, but I think their priorities might be elsewhere now.
Yeah, I agree, Ali. I think that the certainty now for a centre forward, I don't think they're not desperate anymore. They're not scoring enough goals. But you're right. I think maybe priorities now, maybe another centre-half to play alongside Harry Maguire, because obviously I think Bailly's better than Lindelof, but he can't stay fit, so maybe that's an area there, and certainly a holding midfielder. I mean, if you can have a proper holding midfielder of an elite level like a Declan Rice, and you allow people like Pogba and Fernandes to go forward, I think that money would be probably better invested in that type of area.
We've heard that a couple of times this morning. West Ham fans, I'm sorry if this puts you in a bad mood, but the link between Declan Rice going to Manchester United, and you saw a real change in the fan base from not really fancying him when he was first touted to then seeing what he's done this season, especially that partnership with Souček, and thinking actually that could be the missing link. Do you think that if a Declan Rice went to Manchester United, that would put them on a level with Man City?
No. No. I mean,
well, what else would they need for you?
You look at Manchester City's squad, they've got two unbelievable players in every position. like we spoke last season. Last season we spoke about they need a centre half to play alongside Laporte, because if Laporte's fit, that will change everything for Manchester City. Laporte doesn't even play this season because it's now Diaz and Stones. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So listen, I think there's still levels to go before you can catch Manchester City. But listen, they get a Declan Rice, Man United.
And by the way, Benty, we've not even mentioned Nathan Ake, who played at the weekend against Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? There's whatever it was, 50-60 million on their fourth choice centre back.
Tell me then, what would it take, just really quickly before we break, Manchester United to be challenging seriously next season? If they just signed Cavani, what do they need to add? Another centre-back?
Yep, and a holding midfielder.
Holding midfielder, and then you think they'll be there?
I still think Manchester City are ahead of everybody, but Manchester United will certainly be distancing themselves from the rest, although Chelsea will be there alongside Manchester United, by the way.
Did Chelsea finish above Manchester United?
I do think so, yeah.
Okay.